Hello and welcome back to the Flourgoldwizards channel. I'm Jason. That's Rigby, my mining partner. We're part-time gold prospectors based in Wisconsin. And we are on location. And it's the middle of deer hunting week. And there's hunters all around here. I'm trying to keep away from them as far as I can. But hey, I'm nugget hunting. We're all hunting. So we're just going to have to share it, and that's that. I'm at a spot here I think has a great potential. Hopefully we can put a big smile in the pan today. And by the way, it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Back in a bit. Now we're just kind of humming along here. And this is one of the only spots so far that has open water. Everything else is froze solid. Now it's not very thick, and I'll be able to bust through any number of spots here to get to some material I want to work. This actually looks pretty darn good in here. And the layout of this creek has me quite intrigued. I've never been anywhere near this location before, but as you can see, it comes down and around, and it's just full of S-turns and bends, and the creek really narrows up right here, and you can see that it's washing all the sandy layers off of these gravels right here, and it's pushing it on down, and it opens right up into a great big pool right here. So I think somewhere in the midst of these S-turns, this little chute and this little pool, and then there's another little S-turn right there, that there's going to be a streak of gold, and we're here to find it. I brought my gravity high banker along today, and the first thing we're going to do is do a few test pans. Rigby's on the hunt. Come on, I want to get a big 9-point nugget. Now it's really important to test pan your way around spots like this that you've never been to, because I just don't want to set up my high banker in this spot or that spot or wherever and have to run my material from the best gold in the area 20 feet or 10 feet or whatever. I want to be able to set that high banker up right on top of it, so all I have to do is shovel and scoop and scoop and shovel. So we're going to find the best gold in this location right now. All right, test pan number 1. I took it as the creek's coming down and around. This is a really nice tight inside bend right here. So that material is getting pushed just like this, and then down in a curve, and the water bouncing off this bank kind of rails it back out a little bit, and it's following this here edge. At least that's my theory. So I took a sample pan out of right there, and it's tangled up in all these weeds and grass roots, etc. And look at this material here. That's got a really nice layer of gravels and gray clay right underneath it, but it's not that super dense gray clay. I'm gonna guess that if I go down another, another foot, that is gonna turn into impenetrable gray clay. But this stuff is absolutely fantastic looking for the first scoop of the day. Very nice looking rock. So I'm gonna pan that one out, see what's in it. Back in a bit. Yeah, it's a really nice mixture right there. I can see lots of black sand in there already. I don't even have it all the way down. Okay, let's pull that back, see what's in it. Now that is really odd. There was not one little speck in there. Not one speck. That was some really nice looking material. I would expect there to be at least some flood gold in there, because there are really good spots on this creek right here that you can get some really great gold. And it might just be a matter of sliding up and down in the water flow pattern of how this is coming around this bend right here, and how much water is pushing through this little chute right here. So I tell you what, let me move down just a little bit, and right about where it starts to open up over there, I'll take another sample down there and see if there's anything in it. Well, I think we're getting somewhere. So we started up there where I thought the material might be crashing off that bank and loading up against them tufts of grass and whatnot in there. And I did end up taking another sample pan out of that same hole and a little bit deeper. And I found 3 extremely tiny, small little infinitesimal pieces. So like I said, I was gonna slide down here And right where this opens up into this great big huge plunge pool, and it does get quite deep, like right about there you can see the edge of the rocks, and it drops right off to about 3 feet deep in there. So I went right in there, went right down inside of there, and I took a sample pan and I hit clay instantly. But along with that clay, I hit a really nice pile of large grain black sand. Look at how big the grains of black sand are in this stuff here. And up there it was mostly fine powder sand. And there's a nice piece of gold in here too, all nicer than what I found up there. Everything's freezing up, god darn it. But there's a pretty decent piece. And along with that came 4 or 5 little teeny weeny tiny pieces. But my pan is freezing up instantly. It's cold out here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take another sample pan, maybe left or right, and then I'm going to get my high banker set up if I find some more good gold like that in those pans, because we want to move some material here. That is for sure. He's up there. He's on the hunt. What? That's my jacket, I tell you. Yeah, might need a little more pitch, but it's still going. All right, now it's time to run. Back in a bit. All right, I've got about 50 shovels run through this baby, and it's blocking up just a little bit. I don't know if I just don't have enough water pressure for the material here. It's extremely heavy, just chock full of ironstone. Look at that stuff. So let me tell you what, let me open this baby up. Just like that. We'll inspect the mats. Looks like we're cooling up there in the top just a little bit. I don't see any gold per se just yet, but that's why we're gonna do a pan right now. 50 shovels ought to be more than enough to find out if we're in a decent spot or not. And I'll show you how deep I got that hole here already. Right here, let me get down in there. Oh, that's over my knee, and right here it is not. So we got to be careful. If I land in there, it's going to be a long day. All right, let me get this stuff in a pan. We'll see what's in it. Well, there's the old rig bomb up there. He's guarding my backside just in case I might look like a 12-pointer or something. Hopefully not. Well, here's the gold we got out of that. There's a couple of decent pieces in there, and there are a fair number of small particles in there of gold. And I did that a little bit quickly. I mean, there's quite a bit of material here, and as you can see, it's freezing up as I'm doing this, so it's not the best of conditions. I mean, we're still having fun and we're getting some gold, but I know for a fact that not too darn far from here there's a really good spot with lots and lots of gold. Now, walking in here, I could see that there's a hunter pretty darn close to where I wanted to be in the first place. He was right through in there, but I don't see him up in the tree no more. He might have got mad and left. Who knows? But hey, this part of this park right here is close to hunting. I'm in the legit right now, so I don't know. I'm gonna peek through the brush up there a little bit, and if I can't find him, well, I'm gonna go back down that way a little ways, because there's some really good gold about 300 yards that away. Back in a bit. got it. Well, Rigby did it again. He was down here pouncing on mice. And I took a little walk. We were working up around the corner, down that way a little ways. And I just wanted to scout around for some possible other locations. And I found one right there. And I'll tell you why. One of my best spots on this creek is up there a few hundred yards where we were going to head. And I just wanted to look around here, and I found this little area right here. That creek here is coming around right here. Nice tight bend right here, okay? And then as you pan around, you can see lots and lots of big rocks on that outside bend right there. And then in a straight line coming down this inside bend right here, it makes the hoop right here where it's not going to follow that inside bend as much anymore. It breaks off that inside bend and it's getting pushed right over there, and that way where it goes around the next inside bend and then off to the next one and the next one. Well, this one here resembles a spot that I have back that way a little ways. It's coming right off of this straight edge right here, and there's probably a nice little streak in here somewhere of gold and heavies, and it's crashing right into this big grass bank right here. It's almost turning into an island, and the spot up creek from here is just like this one. And I took a pan out of right there, just a little bit off the top, and I hit clay instantly under about 3 inches of gravel. But along with that clay and gravel came 10 nice little pieces of gold in there. Oh my goodness, it's freezing up solid out here. But there's some pretty darn good gold in there for one pan. I tell you what, I don't even think we have to go down that way. I know there's good gold there, so that spot's not going anywhere. I think right in here is where we're going to work the rest of the day today, because that's more gold than I've gotten in one pan and any of the spots that I tried around this here area. And there's the clay is better, the gravel's looking better, everything about this spot is just better, other than some of these branches I'll have to knock off of here. Look at how high the water gets. Oh, that's dead grass strapped up in these trees right here. That's solid 4 feet off the ground right there. The water gets pretty darn high in here. There's a lot of pressure. You can see it's crashing off into there. And look at the angle of that grass right there. It's all pointed this way at an angle down the creek and right into this spot right here. So I think there's going to be some really good gold to be had in here, and maybe even some big pieces back that way just a little bit further in some of this stuff here. So let me do a few more test pans before we break out our gear if we can. So before I left, it was froze solid. And I don't have a fire going. I don't even have a lighter. Well, darn it. All right, so let's do that. Back in a bit. All right, we've got our equipment set back up. Now we just got to run it. Here we go. Oh, that's mice in there. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Nice to mess with you, I tell you what. But we're running really well, so let's get back after it. Oh, we're here running away. Rigby's having fun. I'm having fun. I just grabbed this here stick instead of getting my hands in that cold water the whole time. I just go ahead and I can jostle those rocks around on there real nicely. Yeah. Now, I'm not setting any volume records by any means, but we're still getting a lot of stuff moved. Every once in a while I got to take a little shovel of this out of there and throw it somewhere else. We're running pretty darn well. Mats are clearing out nicely, and we're pushing 30 shovels in there right now. So I'm going to do another 20, and we'll see what's in 50 from this location. What I've been doing is working this whole area right here. Down about, 6 inches or so, 3 to 6 inches, there's a really stiff layer of gray clay and brown clay kind of mixed together, and it's acting like a false bedrock. So I'm trying to go laterally with my shovel and get that top layer of gravels off there, and we'll see if that pays off. Now, I'm not getting all this clay 100% broken up and cleaned off. It's just too much of a chore to run this thing by yourself and do that. But I am getting a lot of that gravel washed off of that clay. As you can see, there's still some built built right into there. And I might put this stuff off to the side and do a pan out of that later just to see if I'm missing anything. But I think I'm getting the material I need out of this gravel, and I'm making some really nice looking ice. I tell you. All right, back to work. All right, it's break time. We are grinding. It just doesn't seem to be getting any warmer out here. It's cold. So I've got 50 in there now, and I'm going to check my mats and see what we got. Hopefully we're capturing everything we're throwing in there, because I know we're throwing gold in there. And then we're going to have a little snack. I'm hungry, and I'm sure Rigby's back there somewhere, and he's hungry too. Let's see what we got. Well, it's not good. That's it. There's only, I don't know, maybe 20 little dots in there. So I'm going to have to do a few more test pans in here. Ouch. Because there should be way more gold in there than that. Or something's going out in my system. I think the pitch is right on the money. Maybe I've had a luck out with a pan in there and we got some good gold out of it. But one way or the other, we're still going to have a snack. And then I'll do a couple of test pans. And I see those guys have left. So if need be, we're just going to take the hike, because I only have so much time during the day around here, especially when it's cold like this. We're going to take the hike where I know there's really good gold. It's just so darn hard to prospect when it's this cold out here. God darn it, look at that. But anyway, let's have a snack and we'll figure out our game plan. Got it. This snack time is brought to you by Meat Skis Quality Meats. Sausages for the miner and all of us. Go ahead, Rigby, grab one. There you go. He needs that. He's a hard-working miner. Well, snack time is over. So we're going to get to the bottom of this right now. Here's a bunch of my tailings right here. I see the light material is washing back a little bit further, and as you move up closer to the sluice here, material gets quite a bit darker. So I'm going to take this whole big pile, throw it in my pan, and see if we got any losses in my tailings before I do any testing in the area we're working over there. So I'll go ahead and I'll snatch this right on up, just like that. Throw that right in my pan, just like that. Let me get another big scoop out of there, and we'll see if we got any losses. Not one speck. Not one speck out of that whole pile of tailings right there. So we got to do some figuring. Back in a bit. Man down. Man down. Well, not really. Another problem. All this stuff freezes up. We decided to make a move somewhere, and this thing is froze solid. I can't even get the darn legs out of it. So I'm going to try and soak it in the water a little bit. Maybe it'll thaw out enough for me to get this thing apart in my backpack. I tell you, it's really turning into something. We might just end up panning the rest of the day. Who the heck knows? But that's a bummer. Back in a bit. Well, I got that thing taken apart and in my backpack. That was horrible. But we're making a move. I'm going to run some of this stuff back to the truck. We're just going to do some panning today. I'm going to speed pan as long as I can handle it, and just dump concentrates in a 5-gallon pail and get them home and do a clean up there. It just is not warming up out here one bit. So let's go find a spot to do that after we dump some of this stuff off. We'll see if we can't get some gold yet. Back in a bit. All right, we made it. Now, this spot here has got great potential to grab us a couple of nuggets. That's right, nuggets. Let me show you around. And here it is. Rigby couldn't even wait. He's down there already. I've got some really nice gold here in the past. Not as much as in some of the areas as far as volume of gold goes, but bigger pieces right here. Ones that you can pick up real easy with your big meat hooks like these. So we're going to go down here and work this shoreline and maybe go out into the middle here a little bit. And we're going to see if we can't grab us a nugget or two. And all I did, I grabbed this frozen pan right here and a pail and a shovel. Well, and Rigby. So let's get to it. I'm just going to start speed panning and throwing hopefully just black sand and gold in my pail, and we'll get that stuff home and clean it up. And point of note, there's a tool for every job. Now, I love my XP pans to death. I love the color. You can see the gold. It stands right out, and these old eyes of mine can see it real well. But when you're speed panning, This super sluice from Garrett here is the way to go. You can really chew through some material with these great big huge deep riffles in the back side of that baby, and it's a good firm pan, and you can do a whole lot of material moving with that thing there. So I'm going to quit jack jawing and get to it. All right, we got our first big pan full. Take a look. Look at all that slimy clay in there. Look at that. That ice will cut you, man. I tell you what. I do that every darn year. Oh well, but it looks pretty good and slimy. There's all kinds of gray clay mixed in there, and that's the same material that I remember from this spot the last couple times I've been here. You just got to work through that clay, but there's really good gold to be had, and giant garnets too. So let's pan a bunch of these down and see what we can get out of it. I just wanted to do a discount double check here with the material we're working, and there is some good gold in here. Big pieces too. Well, bigger. There's a number of micros in there. I mean, to some those would be micros too, but around here they're decent pieces for sure. And we're just working along right up and along in the bank here, and it's certain spots here and there. That one there had the biggest pieces so far, so I'm going to take a bunch more pans out of there and just keep dumping them in my pail. That's right. Back in a bit. Oh, me and Rigby are going to move. We got a lot of concentrates in that pail already. We got a whole pile of pans done, but there's just so many darn hunters walking around. I mean, every time you turn around, there's another orange jacket standing there. I don't know. We'll go find somewhere to work, I guess. Well, Rigby says stop right here, so we're going to. We got about an hour left before we plan on getting out of here, and I've been to this spot before, and it's not too far from the truck. As a matter of fact, if I was up a little bit higher, you could see the truck right through there. So we don't have a far walk at all, and we did get a pretty good pile of flour in here. We didn't find much for larger pieces, but the really small stuff was plentiful. So we're going to finish our day off here in about an hour's worth, as long as my back can hold out. We'll see what we get. Back in a bit. Well, as I've been known to do on occasion, a slight change of plans. I got so sick of not seeing any darn gold. We did not good today. Not good at all. I decided to clean all those concentrates from my pail up down in the creek while we were here, just to see some gold, you know. And I'll show you what we got. And here it is. We got it all back to the truck. It's not good. I mean, we spent an awful lot of time out here today. Let's see if I can get that piled up into a little line there. I mean, there's some in there, but there's no big pieces at all. Maybe that one there. Just not very good. There's a couple of pieces scattered about in there. There's another fair piece, I guess. But for the amount of effort we put in today, we just didn't do very well. But that's okay. I mean, that high banker of mine, it has a time and a place, and it works excellent when you have that baby running and you're in the right spot. In the ice is not the place for that thing at all. So I'm going to have to bust out my concentrator, my classifier, and my sluice. And, you know, you can keep all that stuff underneath the water, and it doesn't freeze up, and you still catch the gold. Just a little harder classifying all day long on your back. So next time we come out here, we'll have the right tools for the right weather conditions. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Flourgoldwizards, out.